Hello, welcome. This is Oneindia News and I am Akash. The tension has gripped parts of Maharashtra after violent crashes between two factions in Pune on the 200th anniversary of the Bhima Koregaon battle. And in the middle of all this controversy is JNU student Umar Khalid, against whom complaint has been lodged for inciting communal tension. Oneindia got in touch with the JNU student and asked his reply about the allegations levied against him for inciting communal tension. Here is what he has to say.
So first of all, Umar, can you tell me, because you were there, how exactly the violence erupted at Bhima Koregaon?
See, I was not there. That is, once again, misinformation that is being spread.
Okay.
I was there on 31st of December in Pune, where there was a program at Shanivar Wada, which was called Elgar Parishad, in which I was there, Radhika Vemula was there, Jignesh Mevani was there, Soni Sori was there, Donta Prashant was there, Bhim Army President Vinay Ratan was there. So it was a wide section of people who came on Pune on 31st of December. The program ended around 9:30-10. We went back to where we were staying. The violence broke out next day 30 kilometers away from Pune in a place called Koregaon. In fact, it would not even be correct to say violence erupted. The attacks, very organized, planned attacks started in Koregaon, which is, as I said, 30 kilometers away from Pune, the next day. And every year in Koregaon, lakhs of Dalits go to pay their homage to the people who were killed in Bhima Koregaon battle. So this violence happened on the second day, on the 1st
of January. Yeah. So another thing is that there are accusations on you and Jignesh of provoking sensitive sentiments, and a complaint has also been filed against Jignesh. There are parts of the media showing that complaints and FIR has also been filed against you. So why do you think this is happening? What exactly have you said that has led to this kind of a hue and cry over it?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's part of a very concerted false propaganda that certain media channels who are playing the role of, propagandists of this regime, which is thriving on such lies, who are doing this thing and blaming me and Jignesh. I also saw the news which said that there has been a FIR against us. I inquired from my friends in Pune as to what is this complaint about, and they told me it's a complaint, it's not an FIR, it's not been converted into an FIR, and the police has also assured them that it will not be converted into an FIR. So it's just a false media propaganda that some forces are doing, that there is an FIR against us. On the contrary, by spreading this propaganda, they're hiding another very important piece of information, that there has actually been an FIR that has been filed against two people who have belonged to right-wing outfits. One of them is Shambhaji Bhide and the other one is Milan Bote in Pune. And they have been charged with the SCST Prevention of Atrocities Act and also with Section 307, which is attempt to murder. And what they're also trying to hide by is this entire very, manufactured and very fabricated news against us. They are also trying to hide one more important news, that Shambhaji Bhide is someone who is very close to the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi.
Yeah, because Prakash Ambedkar said that police were in links, or they had links with the ruling party. So how far does that also stand true?
That is true. That's what I was trying to get at. With Shambhaji in 2014, Narendra Modi shared stage with this one person, Shambhaji Bhide, who has now been booked and was now have charges against him of attempt to murder and attacks on Dalits. Modi had sang praises for him in that meeting, called him his inspiration. In the same program, the present Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, was also present. So you can see the links between those who are doing these attacks, the ruling regime, the Maharashtra CM, the Indian PM, all of them are acting like one. And then they are using state agencies and also a section of the media to simply spread lies and to sort of witch hunt people, voices who are speaking up for justice, who are speaking up for peace in society, in our country. And I see this as part of that game plan.
Yeah, because CM Fadnavis also said that there are outside elements who've come to the state and now trying to create violence. So I think he was pointing at maybe you all.
I don't know. I mean, outside the state, do you need a passport or a visa to travel within India to different places? I mean, Then I don't know, all our ministers keep traveling across the country. In recently concluded Gujarat elections, then so many chief ministers went to Gujarat to campaign for BJP. So many leaders of BJP went to Gujarat to campaign for the BJP. I mean, is it some kind of a rule that people from outside cannot come into our state and ask about things? I think this is part of, what do I say, deliberately diverting attention away from the complicity of the Sangh Parivar, complicity of the Sangh outfits in this attack. And it's a very, very well planned thing. Let's not forget that onwards to this conference that happened, there was a yatra taken across Maharashtra by 250 different groups, which included Ambedkarite groups, left groups, farmers organizations, workers organizations, women's organizations. All of them came together and they took out a yatra from 24th of December till 31st of December, which culminated in Pune, in the program which I spoke, across different parts of Maharashtra, especially Marathwada, which is the worst affected by the agrarian crisis and the farmer suicides, which is affected by caste atrocities, which is affected by there have been multiple cases of atrocities on minorities, and they sought to raise these issues of justice, of the fact that economic distress in our country must come to an end, that these anti-people policies of the Modi government should be opposed. And there was, in the program, also unity of these various different organizations. Just imagine 250 organizations, progressive organizations coming together.
Yes,
and a resounding message in that conference. The conference ended with a pledge that we are never going to vote for BJP ever in our lives because it is a Brahminical anti-people party. So this unity is something that they were all through opposing, all through this march, and even 31st program, these same outfits were trying to stop the program from happening, going to the authorities. The organizers took this step of even approaching the people who were opposing it and reassured them that this is not against a particular community. This is against the government and the kind of policies and the kind of mindset that this government has.
So another question that people are asking is this also a deliberate move to maintain the momentum of caste-based politics post Gujarat election? We saw Jignesh winning from Vadgam. So could this also be a deliberate move to maintain the momentum which was created during the ahead of the Gujarat election?
I think one organization that has maintained caste politics all through its entire existence is the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, and I think that is very evident today when the BJP is in power. I mean, we are not doing caste politics. We are doing politics for the annihilation of caste, which was Ambedkar's message. We are doing politics where the caste system should end and the marginalization on the basis of caste should come to an end. This is what Ambedkar stood for, and that is what is enshrined in our constitution. So we are fighting to actually implement the true spirit of the constitution. And on the other hand, you have organizations and leaders. The Union Cabinet Minister Anand Kumar Hegde a few days back said we need to change the constitution and people should identify on the basis of caste and their religion. They are not called castes. Yogi Adityanath sends soap and shampoo to villagers, Dalit villagers before visiting them. That is not called caste politics. So I think the casteist elements are sitting in the government.
So they're basically saying that you guys are also fighting elections based on caste because Jignesh had a Dalit identity before, and which led him to this position. So that is what the accusation is.
I think Jignesh can answer that. I don't need to speak on his behalf, but one thing I would say that Jignesh's election was not based on caste. Jignesh's election was based on the fundamental principles of social and economic justice. He certainly raised the issue of not just in the election but all through his campaign from the Azadi Kuch in 2016 in Una, the marginalization and the atrocities that Dalits of Gujarat face. But fundamentally, he raised the question of Gujarat model of development and how hollow and how anti-people it is. That is the main agenda that, this is now then they're trying to profile it as caste politics simply because Jignesh is a Dalit. So that is caste politics and this RSS is doing.
Also, Arun Jaitley has said what you are saying, but in a different way, of course. He had other points. He said that Dalit issues and all these issues of violence and everything are just being highlighted it's a conspiracy, to basically dilute the developments or everything that is being done by the ruling party.
Arun Jaitley is a funny man. He should first explain what does he mean by development. Modi government claimed that there will be 2 crore jobs every year.
This was in reply to Ghulam Nabi Azad's comment on triple talaq bill.
I don't know what it was in response to, but my response to that kind of a thing, the development of BJP, is that the development of BJP is such that jobs are not there, despite all promises of 2 crore jobs. It's 4 years. Their jobs, even 5% of the job creation has not been there. In this year alone, around 2,000 farmers have committed suicide in this state of Maharashtra alone. So what development are you talking about? Development that excludes everyone, except for Adani and Ambani. Our GDP has fallen to less than 6%, but Ambani's turnover has increased from 17 to 67%. So, yes, you are doing development, but only for Adani and Ambani. Everyone else is getting poorer by the day.
Also, the band that has been called by Prakash Ambedkar, do you think it was needed, or even he maybe was looking at some political mileage, because the state government said they will be looking into it, into whatever happened, and the probe will be ensured?
I think, once again, that is for Prakash Ambedkar to answer, but I think that calling for a protest, calling for a band is a democratic right. And I think that is what I'm saying, that if someone is doing politics today, it is the ruling party, and as 2019 approaches and becomes near, you will see more of these attempts to attack Dalits and minorities, divide people in the name of caste and religion, and unleash violence in the name of caste and religion, because they have nothing to show, and it's only by this divide and rule policy that BJP can hope to come to power again.
There are, of course, caste problems and caste-based politics where divide is being created based on caste and class, whatever. Do you think that to overcome all these things, a militant approach can be justified?
We are simply having an approach where we are demanding justice. That is a constitutional approach.
Right.
Now, if demanding constitutional rights is termed as some kind of extremism, then I think we are heading towards very difficult times where our constitutional rights will be taken away, and those who are taking those constitutional rights away will not be termed that they're doing politics. But those who will demand the constitutional rights, they will be termed militant extremists, and also they will be accused of doing politics. I think that there's a problem if we frame question in such a perspective.
No. And also, lastly, like now that Fadnavis has said he will ensure a probe and you're there, what do you think, in which direction is it going to go?
See, I can only hope for the best, but be it in this case or be it generally, as I said, I don't have much hopes from this regime. Especially, I mean, the ruling party cannot initiate a probe against itself, where the outfits which are close and people who are close to Devendra Fadnavis and Narendra Modi, if they are going to probe and their police is going to probe, the police that comes under the state government is going to probe this thing, I don't know, that goes against the principles of natural justice in the first place. One recently saw how the Yogi government withdrew cases against Yogi himself. So I think that should be given to an independent agency for probes to be credible. But more than that, I think this kind of as I said, this kind of divide and rule policy is going to be intensified by the likes of RSS and BJP in the coming year, because, as I said, that they have absolutely failed on all fronts. There is distress, there is frustration, there is anger of the people against their policies, and they can only do this by issues, communal politics, like talking about Ram Mandir, beef, love jihad, and then doing caste politics like they're doing now.
Yeah, and finally, you think that hitting the streets is the only option that is left to bring about some change in the ideology that has been propagated?
I think hitting the streets, and that because that is the metaphor from Jignesh's speech that is being played in a loop on different TV channels. I think, doing agitation, doing dharnas, doing protests, asking for your rights, this is all given to us. These are rights that Baba Saheb Ambedkar, in his constitution, in the constitution he drafted, he gave us. And to assert those rights cannot be criminalized. I think we need to hit the streets. I think we need to demand our rights. And what the BJP is doing is that it is trying to criminalize, and not just the BJP and its pet channels, they're trying to criminalize basic democratic rights of people, like agitation. What did Ambedkar say in his last message? Educate, agitate, organize. Agitation, and you are depriving people of education, and you are criminalizing agitation and organization.
Yeah, and do you think that even the state government there failed to maintain law and order, and that itself, made this thing happen, this kind of violence?
I think, as I said in the first place, and I'm just repeating myself here, that there is complicity of right-wing outfits who are close to the CM and the PM. So there is as I said, a conflict of interest. I mean, they are not interested in maintaining law and order.